If you're constantly battling low energy, cravings, weight control, watching your health slip away, listen up. There's a simple daily protocol they don't want you to know about that's helping people ditch their meds and reclaim their health. Up to 88% of Americans, this isn't a trend, it's a transformation. Start today to reclaim your health with the Feel Great Protocol.
Once in a lifetime performance there, never to happen again. The American 250 has lit off there as we came in with some Toby Keith out there, some red, white, and blue. We're glad that you guys are all here. I'm just really enjoying the 250 celebration that we're seeing across America, smashed in there with a little bit of our soccer fans or FIFA fans, or as they call them, footballers. It's kind of interesting when people here in America are foreign and then they start calling it soccer. That is absolutely awesome. I really appreciate it. Guys, smash the thumbs up button. We got lots to cover this morning. How you doing, Mr. Spaceshot?
Good morning, Vietnam. Oh, wait, it's not. Okay, actually. Well, good morning. How's it going out there, my fellow world patriots? There we go. That's the right one. And, dude, this is funny. Well, I'll drop it in the chat for you so you can see this. President Trump put out a couple posts of him as a young boy versus Obama as a young boy, or maybe young man. But yeah, interesting that you picked that song, dude, on the way in. Me and the boy went bowling this morning, and I literally played that Toby Keith version of that, courtesy of the red, white, and blue on the way to bowling. And my final score, if I didn't get around to telling you, I asked Hulk, what do you think my final score was? He's like 300. I'm like, yeah, right. But no, 117 was my last one, so not the best. We did the small balls, the duck pin stuff, so
that's what she said.
Yeah, we do a lot of curve balls and lots of fun like that. So yeah, we had a blast. But yeah, dude, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I'm loving the seemingly reemergence of like Americana and the re-experiencing it, or should I say, people experiencing it for the first time, and then other people getting their false illusions of the United States shattered, because we're this evil, satanic, we're the big evil country that does A, B, C, and D, which I'm sure a lot of other countries, thought was true until they came over here. We got our fair share of problems as well as any other country, but yeah, it's good to see that we have a lot of folks seeing this stuff, and then of course the other quantum quaint posts that we've been seeing this week was another breath of fresh air. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed that 250 stuff. That was super cool. And welcome on in.
We might as well. Yeah, what's up?
I was saying, and welcome on in.
What?
Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like I just got here. Wow, I just showed up.
Welcome on in.
Thank you for letting me in.
Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen.
Copy. I think we should just shoot off with the rest of the 250 stuff. Sorry, the rest of the soccer stuff that's out there, because I find this quite interesting, little history and whatnot there. And again, we're around 32 matches as it stands. The United States lost one. Mexico won all of them. So this week they go into the final groups. So it's going to get interesting. So basically, you don't need to start paying attention for another week or so until they get to the final stages is what it comes up to. I'm not sure if we are going to get the 4th of July, England versus the United States in Pennsylvania. That still might be a possibility as the cards lay out. We will see as they get closer to the days. But that's kind of cool to see some of that stuff to come together. So a little history on there, a little bit over there. I thought this is interesting as how much money does each one of these teams actually earn? You want to take a guess? And let's the first guess. How much money do you think each team gets from FIFA just to prep for the World Cup? So like, all right, all you teams, all you 50, 60 teams, you're all going, how much money do they give each team? To go get prepared. All your training, go get your uniforms, travel, show up and play soccer.
And I know soccer players make a lot more money. I'm going to go super low on this one, probably super low, but 50 million.
All right. So here we go. We're going to figure out what it all is, and you're way off.
How much money do teams actually earn at the World Cup?
Probably more than I think.
So every team gets a set amount of money to prepare for the World Cup. How much money do you think they get?
To prepare for it?
To prepare for it, they're granted this from the World Cup committee, FIFA.
Like training, practice, all that stuff?
Yes, like travel expenses. This is what they can spend.
I'm going to say it's a few $1 million. Let's go with $6 million.
$2.5 million just to prepare for the World Cup.
I overshot it, Brian.
The group stage exit. So if you lose in the first rounds of the World Cup, how much money do you win from FIFA?
I think you make like maybe $150,000 each. I don't know how many players there are. Let's go $1 million.
Okay, you win $10 million guaranteed.
That's unbelievable.
I know. So if you just make the World Cup, you automatically win $12.5 million.
I guess it's hard to qualify, so that makes sense.
It is. The round of 32, if you make it past the group stage, how much money do you win?
You're probably going to make more money, so let's go $20 million. Let's double it.
No, it's not even close to that. It's $11 million per team. So the difference is only $1 million if you make it past the first round.
I thought it was the round of 16. I might be wrong. I don't know.
So if you make it to the round of 16, you get eliminated there. How much money does your team make?
I'm going to say that team makes $13 million.
Okay, a little bit more. It's $15 million. So round of 16 is where you really start cashing in.
Okay, and these are the teams as a whole.
These are the teams as a whole, so it gets split up between coaches, players.
Still good. That's like a 5 times profit.
If you're a quarter finalist, which I believe that this is the furthest the USA has ever made it, how much
you think?
Let's see.
Quarterfinals. The last 4 teams going in.
Goes up 1 million, goes up 4 million. We're doing an exponential curve here. I'm going to go with 25 million.
How much money do you make?
$20 million.
You'll make $19 million per team.
That just makes sense.
If you come in fourth place.
Fourth place? What do you want to guess?
20 million.
How much money do you make?
Fourth place is going to be more than that, $25 million.
$27 million.
We're going up in the world.
What about third place?
Third
35.
place has to be $30 million.
$29 million.
Ooh, why don't they like whole numbers?
The runners up, second place, what do they make if they come in
31.
second in the World Cup?
Second
35.
place in the World Cup has to make an astonishing $50 million.
$33 million.
Okay, we really jumped the gun there.
And then
What do you think final is?
They seem to be grouping them in similar fashion. So with this one, I'm going to go with 35, maybe 40.
the world champions, the World Cup winners, how much money do they cash in on?
Winners of the World Cup, cash in on $50 million. Lock it in, Brian.
It is $50 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
48 World Cup teams in total. They split how much money from FIFA in total?
Let's just go $120 million.
Okay, it's almost $1 billion that they pay out. $871 million
Oh, because
from
it's
FIFA.
each team that gets knocked out. So you're paying out 32 teams. What was it, $2 million?
Each team,
$10 million.
Each team gets $2.5 million, and then each team is guaranteed $10 million if they lose in the first round.
That's crazy.
Dude,
That is
some of the amounts of money some of these people make. Like, I thought baseball and football was ridiculous. Some of these football players are making some crazy bucks too.
Yeah. You remember the movie, The 12 Monkeys? Remember that movie?
Is that the one with Bruce Willis or Brad Pitt, or is that
Yeah.
7 Monkeys?
And Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis, and whatever the other guy is. Yeah, ran by this one over here. Look, it's Tyler Durden talking to himself right there. You can see it right on screen. That's Tyler Durden talking to himself.
What's his
You
name
have
there?
to see the movie. Ed Norton.
Ed Norton.
They both play the same character. If you guys didn't know, you'd really need to see the 12 Monkeys.
Oh wait, no, that was Fight Club.
Oh, Fight Club. Yeah, you're right. Fight Club. 12 Monkeys is the other one that he was in without Norton.
That was funny
Fight Club
too.
was a great.
Yeah, because the whole movie, if you haven't seen it, like Hulk's saying, Ed Norton, meets Brad Pitt, and they start this fight club. But by the end of it, they realize that Ed Norton is making up Brad Pitt in his head, or he is Brad Pitt, the anarchist, blowing stuff up, and so very weird movie, but very cool. Making selling back ladies their own fat to make soap. That was funny.
So back into some of this stuff over here. We all knew that the Scottish had showed up. Well, it's Belgium's turn over here, and North Carolina,
Orange.
This is Kansas City.
Wow!
Look at the sea of orange. That's Belgium showing up. That's fast forward, folks. Just
Damn.
a sea of orange. So they're there to drink, hang out, and have fun. Here, I'm just going to run by some of this.
The most popular song in the land.
Well, we got more for you.
Dude.
Let's just keep going, folks. Here we go.
Wait,
The most popular song in the land.
Wait. This one keeps going. Yeah, I got more for you. Here, we're just going to keep going. Got more. Got more. This is Australia. They're singing along quite. It's pretty bad when the TV news commercials need to pause because the audience is singing too much.
That's hilarious.
I got more for you. Yeah. What happens when they party after? Yeah, there you go. 99 balloons, red balloons, to be more accurate. That's pretty awesome, dude. Yeah,
Actually,
America's not ready for this.
It's actually Luftballons by Nina.
Yeah, it's red.
Picture.
Red balloons.
Luftballons. But dude, that's you would have thought that they had like, some songs over there that would have, translated over there, but apparently they needed the American experience. And dude, another weird coincidence, another movie me and my son were watching the other day was I don't know if you ever seen The Kingsman. It was a sequel, and that was the song Country Road. Country Roads. So two very familiar songs in the last couple of days. Cool.
Yep, so might as well rip the Band-Aid off of this one, right?
Issy Hernandez?
Yeah, might as well just go there, right? Might as well just rip the Band-Aid off.
My name is Mr. Garvey. I'm your substitute teacher today. I'm gonna read off these roll call names right here. Is Aurelian Tachumani here? Where's Tachumani? Where is Aurelian Tachumani? Vinicius. Is it Vinicius or Vinicius? Or Vincius? Maybe is it just Vincius? Boy, if you ain't in here, how am I supposed to know how to say your name? Where is Lamine Yamal? Is Lamine Yamal up in here? How about Desiree Dewey? Is Desiree Dewey? Ain't nobody in this classroom. Earling Ha-ha-ha-ah-land. Is Earling Ha-ha-ha-ah-land in here? What's it? Kalian Mbop. No Kalian Mbop today? Judy Bellingham. Is Judy Bellingham here? Aaron Juan Bissicum. Is Ron Juan Bissicum up here? This is ridiculous, man. Ain't got no students in the class, ain't got nobody to teach.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Absolutely great. What do you think so far?
Aaron and D Nice. So if anybody didn't see the show, he plays in that segment a inner city substitute teacher, and he's doing roll call. And
Balake!
Hey, yeah, where's Balake? My name's Blake. Balake, you watch your freaking mouth. Where's Denise? Denise.
Oh, here's another interesting thing. You could read that for everybody.
In a remarkable World Cup coincidence, in 1994, Erik Thorsfeldt, Alf Inge Haaland, and Goran Sorloth were part of Norway's squad at the World Cup in the United States. 32 years later, at the 2026 World Cup in North America, their sons, Christian Thorvsent, Erling Haaland, and Alexander Sorloth are representing Norway on the same stage. Dude, this is freaking getting weird, bro, with the friggin' hockey, the Jack Hughes stuff, and now this. Oh, like, are we living in a rerun or something?
It's a do-over, bro. Do-do-do.
Jeez Louise, huh?
Here, you can read that for everybody. I chuckled when I saw this.
The U.S. is interested in hosting the 2038 World Cup. America's World Cup Task Force said, quote, we have the stadiums built, so for the U.S., compared to the other host nations, where it costs tens and tens of billions of dollars, you know, it cost us a couple billion. Ah.
I thought that was absolutely awesome. And one little piece before we get back to the beginning here.
Oh, wow.
No need to nick a basket. We are giving away 5 orange and blue litter baskets. These are the real deal. Want a chance to win one? Enter here for the official win a basket. You don't need to dump it out on the ground and take it home with you or try to transport it on the subway itself. You can go ahead and win one now. Yay.
Did that lady try to take it on the subway too? Or was that a different
She did,
one?
yeah.
Oh,
and
my
got fired.
God. Yeah, and she was like what, Wells Fargo or some whatever, but they said she was like a DEI hire. I don't know. But yes, apparently she had a big paying job, and she still decided that she needed to steal that, which is just stupid. I mean, make one for yourself, you know? Go home, spray paint one. But yeah.
Exactly.
It is a nice piece of I would want it if I was a Knicks fan too, but friggin', with cameras nowadays, dude, like, wake the hell up.
Exactly. That's totally crazy out there. Good morning, everybody out there. How you guys doing? Pilled, we see you out there. We see your Rumble. Thank you, everybody, hanging out. Smash the thumbs up. We're going to go back into the beginning of the show, and there's something I wanted to show you, and I haven't seen this particular gentleman perform live in probably over 15 years. I might have played a little bit of last week, but he is currently on tour on his thank you tour. Mike D of Beastie Boys did play in New York City 2 nights ago. Did you hear about this?
I did not. Is one of them deceased, or did one of the Beastie Boys pass away?
Okay. Mike Diamond is dead, so you have the other 2 that are there, and they basically had said at the same time that we are not going to produce any music underneath the Beastie Boys deal except for any recordings that we already have out or anything like that. We'll push that out, do books and all those sort of things. So they've done their independent things, and right now Mike D is currently touring with his son, who's got a 5D band, is what they're called, 5D, and he's rolling with them, producing some music. So what had happened is he got just tired of producing other people's music. His kid got old enough. He started getting into music, started writing some shit. And then other influencers started asking him too. And after a long time, he's like, F it, I'm going to do my own thing. So not new music, but it is showing him performing on stage here last night in New York City. You want to hear a little bit of it? Yeah. This guy's pushing almost 60. Ready? So if anybody's not into the Beastie Boy group out there, who has been kind of the bad boys of kind of the rap white boys out there with the fight for your right to party type mantra out there, one of their last studio albums, everybody was complaining that all you guys do is just play licks and electronic music and shit like that. So this album with Sabotage out there, they came out and recorded the entire album on instruments and then played it live. So they can prove, hey, we are a real band. We can play real instruments with guitars, drums, the whole thing. Watch this is what they came out with. So it's good to see Mike D out here. What do you think?
We're an American band. I think they need to start calling themselves the Beastie Men or the Beastie Guys.
There's only 2 left. I'll throw a little bit of some Paul's Boutique out here. I haven't heard this song live ever, but here's Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun. Yes, that is the Beastie Boys, was released under the Twitter moniker of Beastie Boys with his new album coming out labeled Thank You. And he is currently touring here at this point. Rainamainer says Mike D saying if Ad Rock isn't going to realize that the Beastie Boy music still has plenty of money to be made from, then I'll go get it all, at least for the live shows. It had been explicitly said here at this point, because they do still talk to each other, they're good friends, they made a pact to not produce any new Beastie Boy music. The only reason why Mike D is out is because his kid's band called 5D, and they were touring underneath Mike D with 5D, or Mike D 5D is the name of the band that is currently touring. There is no new Beastie Boy music coming out here at this point, from what I've heard. All independent. Ad Rock released something last year, if I remember right. So they're still doing independent music on both sides out there. But there's that side out there for everybody, the musical interlude, as we came in here talking a little bit about 250 and the international group singing all the great American songs out here, and finishing off with a little bit of Mike D and some Beastie Boys. So thank you guys. Appreciate that.
We'll put a boot in your ass. Yeah, they were always jamming. You know what I always really liked too? I always liked their videos. They were always funny. They
Yeah, there were some great videos.
Like the detectives, they made them look like, like Starsky and Hutch type videos where they're like chasing criminals, or they're the criminals and they're the police. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Sabotage is a great album out there. All right, enough of all that crap. Let's get into some other stuff over here. Might as well talk about some GTA out here. Would you like to read that for everybody?
Sure. Yeah, these folks are raking it in. More Grand Theft 6 details. Grand Theft Auto 6 details have been shared by a Brazilian retailer in addition to Amazon. Largest and densest map ever created by Rockstar. Alternate control between Jason and Lucia in real time. Executing coordinated heists. Discover secret side missions through the in-game social network. Global illumination with advanced ray tracing. And perfect reflections on cars and water. Each protagonist has unique abilities. NPCs have their own routines with organic random events across the map. In social network, in-game social network considered a major innovation. Dynamic weather that alters physics and gameplay. Optimized for PS5 Pro with more stable frame rates and higher resolution. Wait, so what does that mean about optimized for PS5 Pro versus Xbox, which I think I might be leaning towards Xbox?
The Pro has a little bit of a better processor, just by a little bit. So PlayStation has two models, the regular and then the Pro. Pro is probably 15% faster if the game has been optimized for that particular platform, which 95% of their games are not optimized for the extra horsepower that is in there. But GTA 6 will, but it's up to you which way you want to go, because I will be entertaining that particular game on the Xbox.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm doing as well. And I'm showing right now, I'm overlaying a little bit of our game footage from yesterday, which is showing their 12 or 13-year-old version of this game, which is still, for how old it is, the graphics and whatnot are really good. Yeah,
we did goof around last night, if you guys didn't know.
Did
I show them on my side?
And Hulk, I think, went for about 10 hours. And yes, if anybody's wondering, I can't do this stuff in real life, so I am a menace when it comes to online. And yes, I'm a terrorist that kills people left and right online. And yes, I take their cars and do what I like.
Yeah, I did Battlefield first in the first part of the show as I was going through and setting that up. I do run 1440p at 15K, so that's a lot of horsepower behind that, but I was blowing tanks up and having fun, waiting for Spaceshot to come out. Taking tanks out, dude. So I was having a lot of fun. I hate the tanks here, but I was definitely putting the work in and totally defending this flag over here, making sure these guys weren't going to come back and blow shit up. So I kind of hate tanks, but this actually looked pretty good. I'm like, oh, there's a freaking helicopter right there, dude. I just realized that somebody had parked one right there. That means the other team can spawn inside that. And these guys are coming for me. I'm like, no.
It's funny. And it's weird. Like, the game looks awesome. And I just wish they could make the gameplay feel more like Call of Duty in the way it plays, but it would look like Battlefield.
I got to find that one moment. I'm currently looking for it because I was crying last night when this happened. I had to bring in some audio here.
Which one? Was it this one?
Yeah, it's this map.
Did anybody clip it?
Is it after this?
Well, dude, we were live for 8 hours. You were live for 8 hours, so.
Yeah, it was right there.
Was that it? Go back 10 seconds on the bottom left. There you go.
So we're racing along here, just cruising.
You're sniffing my ass. I can see.
I'm about to pass him.
He's like, hey, oh, you're off. Oh.
So we're fighting here.
Together.
So Hulk went sideways. I'm like, I got him! Yay!
Oh no!
Oh wait, that's not even the right one.
Off the edge.
Yeah, it is right here. One. It's coming up right here. So I'm following him. I think I'm gonna jump right over him, dude. I'm gonna jump over him and then wham!
That was awesome.
I was crying, dude. There's tears coming down my eyes. I was laughing so hard that happened.
Let's just say it was unfair.
Smash you like a hammer.
So we did some gaming like that. So if you'd like to come out and entertain yourself and laugh and have fun and watch two dudes play video games, that's what pretty much we were doing there the entire time. As long as doing the mission, because we were doing a Cayo Perico heist. That was interesting. We got dropped a bunch of times. So yeah, we were goofing around having fun.
Yeah, and just so you know, so some folks are wondering like, what? So that's why we do premium for this. So we don't have stuff behind a paywall that you guys have to pay for, and you know, the information that you're going to be missing if you don't pay for premium or don't have a sub to each one of our channels, that you're only missing video games.
The only fans.
Only feet coming next month.
Yeah, so that's that. Anyways, we'll get back into other stuff. So that was some Mike D stuff. We had the video game stuff. We're all done with that stuff out there. How about this one?
100 years, huh? Mel, happy birthday, Mel Brooks, and thanks for the laughs. Blazing Saddles director turning 100. Boom. Somebody died the other day.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that old, but remember, Spaceballs 2 is coming out next year. I think he said May. I think it's May 2027, somewhere right around there, as we get ready for the new Spaceballs movies. Let's see if you guys are going to see that out there. I will see it.
What is it?
Type Spaceballs in chat.
Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money? Is that what they were saying? Like,
no, it's called something else.
Well, yeah.
The next one.
Yeah,
remember, he called it. He's all, here's the name of the movie, Spaceballs, the next one.
And I think they did another one too, where he said like the basically making jokes of it, the search for more money. That, you know, they're making.
Yeah, that was the end of. Yeah, that was the end of the one. When remember, because he was going through the merchandise, you know, Spaceballs, the T-shirt, Spaceballs, the lunchbox. Right. He's making fun of them because he told him, you can make the movie, I love it, you just can't do any toys. Period. No merchandise. That's when he made fun of it.
Schwartz be with you.
May the Schwartz be with you. What else do we got here? Let's get into some interesting things here. So I thought this is interesting to think about because over along the American border, especially in San Diego area, they do have drug tunnels. When's the last time you seen inside of a drug tunnel other than what you saw in the news? Yeah, so this one's in an appliance store. It had been raided and cleared out, so I figured we'll just scrub through a little bit of this and check out, you know, how the hell do you get a drug tunnel inside of a business in a strip mall, right? I mean, nobody's paying attention to any of the noise. I mean,
over that
just when I think about this, you know what I mean?
No legitimate sales happening here. As you can see, coming in here,
buy for less.
This was a legitimate business. We have obviously, for the time since we served the warrant, been doing searches, searched every item to make sure we're not missing anything. But when we came in here, you know, boxes were set up in positions where they could actually be sold. During the course of our investigation, again, we didn't see any legitimate sales happening in this location. The cash drawer has like $15 in it. There's no legitimate money.
Looks like a nail salon.
That was how it was when we got here. There was
haircutter.
no
See the mirror, broken mirror on the wall.
Evidence that this was operating as a real business.
Another box for products,
so that they could open the tunnel and move drugs through it. The freezers, like this one, were actually loaded full of cocaine. So we observed the freezers come out of here, and then we observed
cocaine has to remain
loading
cold.
cocaine into them at another location. We partner with the Border Patrol, with the tunnel team, that are the best in the business. So once we made the tactical entry, we were able to secure it, and we had the warrant to actually search for the tunnel. These guys came in, began moving items around, and quickly found what you will see to be the tunnel.
Because the Mexican authorities told us, hey, here's a tunnel, go check it out. We had to ask for a warrant. Holy shit, look at the cover on that thing.
Yes, sir. So this is it, huh?
Breaking Bad.
This is it. They had a patch that was laid here. And every time they would come up, they would break it or break the tiles, and then they would, when they were done, they would re-tile it. So if you look at the tiles, the length from the tiles, it matches the same length as this opening for one whole piece.
So yeah, the United States government put the metal shield over the top of it to obviously keep them from coming back up. But they're referencing when they walk into this room, it's perfectly tiled. You couldn't tell the difference unless you broke the two tiles in the middle with some sort of support.
Damn.
So you can see right here, I know we're in a really tight space. We do have a drop here. You have to use this board to step on right here. And then from here, there's another little ladder, and you can walk down the ladder, and that's where the first set of stairs begins. And so when you come down here, just watch your step coming down, and you'll see it right here. It's all piled with mortar and stuff like that, and they'll use that mortar to retile, and they have bags of concrete as well.
You know how long it took them to dig this?
For estimates, it's about 2 years.
Wow.
Typically, with this type of distance that we've seen in the past, it takes about a year. But because you can tell the way the footprint is, it's why it took longer, because you're increasing the height, and so that's twice the amount of dirt. So it takes twice the amount of time, especially when you're taking your time. And right here, right off to your left, where I'm shining my light up here, this is where they're going to come out in the bathroom. For whatever reason, they made the decision not to go up in the bathroom and to come out in this little side room. If you look right here, it's just simple speaker wire. They run, and then they splice into it, and that's where they run their light bulbs. You can see one of the light bulbs over there is kind of losing its juice, and they actually had extra bulbs so they could change them out. This is more or less how tall and how wide the tunnel was all the way through. You'll see at the first section down where it dips, it gets a little bit taller, and then towards the end too, it gets a little bit taller. But for the most part, it's almost like you can crouch down and you can walk the tunnel. It is a little bit more narrow than the ones that we've seen. They're typically about 3 feet wide. This is about 2.5 feet wide, but again, it's 5 feet tall. And again, what I was talking about earlier, this is where they leave these things of tiles. We left them exactly in place where they were. So this is the tile. So as they break ground and push dope, when they're done pushing whatever it is amount that they push that day, they put these tiles back on, so it looks like as if nothing's there. And then they'll put their laundry machines or washing machines and all their miscellaneous items right back up. And again, as we're progressing forward, we're doing this. It's not like we're not pushing very fast. We're kind of methodically pushing pretty slow, because again, when we come up to these blind corners, these 90s here, we don't know what's around that corner, right? So we're peeking and we're looking and we're making sure it's clear. Obviously, what helped us is the lighting that was on. That didn't happen until about a couple hours into us making entry. So we were strictly just light. So what you see on my head and then a handheld with plenty of obviously batteries, we're operating in the dark. And this again right here is another example of where they were going in the wrong direction, and then they tried to recorrect, and they were in the wrong direction, and they filled it with sandbags. Because every time when they're making these movements and they're going in the wrong direction, they have to kind of reinforce those areas, because that now becomes a weak point of the tunnel. The more bends and stuff that they have, this is where a lot of those structural issues start to appear. It's really simple. So when they talk about sophistication, they're literally using a compass. And in our case, we use what's called a plurf. And that's able to shoot inclination, declination. It's able to shoot distance. And we're able to give us a heading in a direction. So
that's pretty cool out there, dude, for the drug tunnel. Talk about El Chapo stuff out there. Quick programming note. We will be getting to the show songs there at the end, so vote for a song, leave a song. Spits, Choke, and Puke 2 says, do you have a favorite song from the Beastie Boys you want to hear for the last song? My suggestion would be Paul Revere's Ride. That would be my pick right there. So I didn't pick one that is my favorite song. It's probably the one I know most of the lyrics for.
What's he named? Paul Revere. But dude, that stuff's bananas right there. And you could not pay me enough to, unless I was saving my own life to escape, like you couldn't pay me enough to like go back and forth in that thing on a regular basis. Like just the, chance of implosion, things starting to fall down. But, we know that they're pushing drugs and humans probably because that hole was big enough that they didn't even have to really lean down. And to his point, the higher you make it, the more dirt you have to pull out. So you have to, drill all this stuff or blow it all up or scrape it or whatever. Then you have to get it all out of there too. So that's quite the task. What do you say, a year or two to make that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you think about it, this is a drug cartel with hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're able to, basically put this together, that Mexican ingenuity that we all know that they have. And get that over here on the other side. I mean, just think if you were like elite and had billions of dollars, what you could build. Just saying. Right?
Got enough money to do whatever you want.
What else are we going to go here? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I might as well throw this one out here. You want to read that for everybody?
Sure. John Reese, person of interest. Going to, quote, I am innocent of all charges, and this is vindictiveness by Trump, to I'm guilty, and I'm also willing to give $2 million, my freedom for 5 years, my law license is just astounding in such a short time. What on earth did they have on John Bolton, and what was in his computer and offices? Oh, besides the top classified materials that we don't want getting out to enemies, like that type of stuff.
You mean the supposedly Iran hacked the emails and they were monitoring John Bolton's communications the entire time?
Yes, sir.
Or they allowed them to have, and he was having official communications with Iran about trying to do some nefarious stuff inside the United States, and that's what they pinned on him. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, they hacked him. We told the American public that they hacked him. But when you're sending classified information on a private email through Google, and Iran seems to be watching, yeah, bullshit.
Actually, don't go anywhere. Click on that Brian Cates click right there. I actually sent you that as part of show notes earlier. Assistant U.S. Attorney for Maryland gave a major hint today at the presser when she said among the classified info he got caught retaining, sending it to family members over non-secure, unencrypted networks, was info that was classified at the very highest level. Sounds like SAP Special Access Program material. Bad enough you got caught merely having possession of that stuff after leaving government service. Even worse if you showed it to other people not authorized to see it in times and places where having it to show them in an unsecure location is federal felony. Nobody is discussing why he wanted to hold on to this stuff. And no, I don't buy the bullshit excuse that often given by people like Bolton or Biden. Hey, I was writing a memoir. I needed that classified-ish to jog my memory. Blackmail, leverage, insurance, reindeer games. That's why he wanted it. Oof.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that assessment 100%.
Yeah, I was like his viewpoint's pretty good.
I believe this is lawyer.
John Bolton held a number of positions of extraordinary public trust in the United States government, culminating in being the national security advisor to the President of the United States. John Bolton betrayed that trust in extraordinary fashion by unlawfully retaining and unlawfully disclosing the information with which he was entrusted. Kelly provided a very good summary of that today for those of you that weren't in the change of plea, and the United States will have more to say about that at sentencing. But today's plea should be a warning to anyone at any level of government that if you leak America's secrets or if you mishandle them, the United States Department of Justice, National Security Division, and our U.S. attorney partners will be there to prosecute you.
Still thinking about that box that sits behind that Mustang in the garage at Hunter Biden's dad's house in Delaware. Just keep thinking about that one. And that picture says top secret on it.
Oh, dude. And it's so funny. Like, there's clips of John Bolton out there talking about other people with classified materials. Like, prosecute them. These people need to learn a lesson. It's like, oh, pot, meat, kettle, my man. And it's so juicy. I'm just loving, the short period of time, like you said in the post before this, like that he went from, no, I didn't do anything to, yeah, I'm pleading guilty. And then also with Senate the other day making an abrupt right-hand turn, it seemed was pretty weird. Going from 50-47 no to 50-48 yes after Trump had a little sit-down with him. Oh, God, what was that vote on? Was that the...
that's for the SAVE Act attached to that spending bill, I think?
Yes. And so, so it's very interesting. He had a little sit-down with them the other day, and all of a sudden they shifted votes like crazy. Even Susan Collins, Susan Collins, I get the window open. Susan Collins getting in my window over here.
Thought you had the air conditioning on.
I did, and I turned it off a little while ago. But yeah, I'm adjusting to life up in the office/bedroom.
So another big bust here. Read this, lady.
God, dude, how much money? A Las Vegas nurse practitioner bought a $594,000 Ferrari and a $4.6 million beach resort in the Philippines while allegedly running a $906 million fraud scheme that targeted elderly hospice patients for unneeded procedures. Marizel Yuki has been indicted in the biggest healthcare fraud takedown in the United States history. Feds seized 8 cars, $460K and $67K in cash, several Nevada properties, including a house on, no joke, Money Street in Pahrump. Money Street. Oh my word!
Yeah, so these particular busts keep increasing as they go through some of these people here. I mean, this is almost $1 billion of fraud that they went and chased this lady afterwards. So let's see if they can hold this down of going through and deleting this fraud, and see if we can get back to some normalcy here and not have a continuing habit of, oh yeah, let's go to America illegally, and then let's produce some fraud and then leave with the money. We're not going to get busted for it. That seems like what everybody's been doing for like the last 20 years. And now they're starting to get busted as we start going down the big list of the most fraud you could put there out on the market. This one's getting up there, top 10.
Yeah, what do they say? Some people go to other countries, so they do like what they call like medical vacationing. These people are from other countries, like fraud vacationing, essentially. Like, geez.
Basically.
Apparently it's so easy, dude, until they got caught.
Yep. What else do we got? I got a story about Scott Pressler. You remember he went for the board of the Republican side for the election crap integrity. Can't remember what the hell it was. So, yeah, how do you think his first meeting went over there with them as he goes and shows up?
Explosively.
So they wouldn't let him inside.
So this is James Bialotto with Dead On, where it looks like there's a memorandum with Scott Pressler's picture on the first table to identify him at the door to prevent him from entering. This is the doors.
So yeah, they won't let him in. And ran by this. Remember, this is John Thune's state they're in.
The President Donald J. Trump.
I'm big on Facebook too, and I'm the asshole saying you can't come in because guess what? You're posting this little piss and moan session on Facebook. So you just get the hell out of here. Thank you.
You see how the grassroots are welcomed in Senate Majority Leader Thune's territory. Interesting, my friends. I don't think this is a good reflection of the South Dakota GOP. But I thank him for his honesty, though. What's your Matthew Bruner, Sergeant at Arms, the president.
Who has been currently removed from his position for acting against Scott Pressler here at this point, for basically being bully and not allowing him to do his particular rights of getting into government access into the facility and have an argument with the other guys about how they're going to secure the elections here. They did vote to go and try to see if they're going to censor Thune. It did make pass some preliminary votes, but when they finally came down to put the pedal to the metal and give the power to the Democrats, because Thune's going to get a big finger wagging and knocked off a bunch of positions and blah, blah, blah from his home state, they decided not to do anything with Senator Thune. Even though Thune was probably the one that's running the whole operation, saying, don't let Scott Pressler in.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. It says, my wife and I developed a relationship with Senator Thune. This Senator Thune isn't that guy. I'm so glad we're having the censure resolution. Our county worked very hard to get him elected. Thune put in the wrong people to the Senate on purpose.
Yep. So, yeah, it's not going to happen on a local level. So he's safe here at this point. So just an FYI for what was going down in the Dakotas. So, yeah, Thune's home state, who's the Speaker of the House. So, yeah, you could see how protective they are over their yard, if you understand what I'm saying.
They're peeing in all the corners.
Then it comes back to that thought process. Do we need to just flood the field with, thousands of patriots like this that will do these types of things? Just not one Scott Pressler, but tens of thousands of them. Is that unstoppable there at that point? Is that how you, not play the game? I'm just saying, how far is the individual willing to go? And it takes a lot of effort to do what Scott's doing. This ain't no easy thing. Can't do it from your couch.
Nope. Need a lot of people to actually, get out there and do, be louder, right? And get active in your community.
Exactly. What else do we got here? Oh, ran by this. Here, read that for everybody.
California registration cancellation form. In order to remove yourself from the voter rolls in California, you have to send a cancellation form to your county clerk. Los Angeles lists non-citizen directly on the form as a reason. Nice.
Nice. Why? Oh, yeah, I'm a non-citizen. I can't vote. We sent you a registration, though. That's the way the game works. Here's another one you could take a crack at.
The RNC just sued Colorado Secretary of State for allowing people who have never lived in the state to vote in Colorado elections. Another Democrat-run election scheme, another RNC lawsuit, more below. Nice.
So they're trying to push down the no voter ID, anybody can vote. We're going to do all mail-in voting like Utah. Dude, these states are crazy. So we'll see if those two states hold their election together. Because remember, we've got the Somali over there running in Utah for a congressional seat, and they're starting to move out to other states and red states and be able to flood the zone in 10 or 15 years. So they're playing the long game, guys. So when I'm talking about getting active and do civics, I think they should teach that shit back in school. It's time to do it now. So that's that. What else do we got? Oh, yeah, this is also happening. You want to read that one too?
A judge in Alaska has ruled that state election officials unlawfully removed U.S. Senate candidate Dan J. Sullivan from the ballot, holding they imposed a, quote, good faith candidacy requirement not found in the United States Constitution, Alaska law, or state regulations. Wow.
So remember, when the Democrats lose, they change the game and the rules to best fit what their ideology is going to be and be able to hold on to power. This would be one representation of that, because we're going to remove you from the ballot. Why? Because we think you're a bad person. So we're going to say it's good faith because you're going against our ideology.
Unfriggin' believable, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the way that they play the game. Let's see what else I got here for you. Here, might as well just throw this out because this is another one that's interesting.
Oh my God.
This video obtained by Newsday shows attorneys for the district looking through a garbage bag found in the district clerk's office 3 days after the election. They claim to have found ballots that had been ripped up.
Yep, filled-in ballots ripped up for Gwendolyn Jackson.
One of the attorneys, Austin Graff, wrote in the investigative report, the problem may be much worse than what can be proven. Perhaps the sizable number of ripped-up cast ballots and ripped-up applications were successfully discarded before the election or after the election. The board placed Keyes and her assistant, Lottie Whitehead, on paid leave on May 22nd, 3 days after the election. Keyes has not returned Newsday's calls for comment. Hempstead School Superintendent Gary Rush told Newsday it's an ongoing investigation, not at liberty to discuss at this time. The district spokesperson said the school board referred the results of the probe to the Nassau District Attorney's Office. Rhines is calling on the state attorney general to investigate.
You hope that when you are casting your vote for someone, that vote is going to be casted properly, and you don't expect someone to cheat.
See, again, they just changed the rules. You know, I've got position of power. I can fudge these numbers on a local level, just like what they did over there in Georgia. I mean, we still haven't seen the results of that yet, but yeah, it just keeps cooking along, guys.
Yeah, it's absolutely bananas how much fraud is out here and how much fraud is being exposed.
And these are just midterms, you know, nothing really big. It's not a presidential election or anything like that. So, yeah, let's get it back into their ideology because, yeah.
You know, there's certain things that I believe in that are not being reflected in the current environment, especially with some of these races on Tuesday. And as we said in our pledge, you know, we're for capitalism, not socialism. We're for safety, not lawlessness. We're proud of America, not ashamed of America. And we need to be promoting those things. And you know, the far left and the far right, you know, they're all very well organized. But those of us that don't support those far left or far right principles need to do a better job organizing and getting our message out.
What is that? 13 moderate Democrats are breaking with Democrat socialists, citing the Promise to America, pledging support for strong borders, capitalism, patriotism, with Tom Stuzwell or Stuzzi or whatever leading the effort. So, yeah. They saw what happened over there in New York, and the socialists got in there, the radical socialists, and now they're starting to panic a little bit because nobody's standing up to these people out there. And AOC and Tlaib and the rest of the squad type ideology is like, keep coming. Let's go. Let's burn it down. That's what they want.
Yeah. And I'm glad to see this, dude. And it actually is amazing to see that we have some people that are breaking with these folks. But, maybe it was, when it gets so bad and you start, people want to see a certain thing on the other side, right? But I think when they start pushing it so far, like being socialists and this stuff, right, with trying to flood the country and just destroy it, they're starting to see it. And so never thought I'd see Democrats break. We've seen these people be in lockstep for years, Hulk, right? This is probably one of the first few breaks we've seen in a long, long while.
Oh, yeah. And so, what do we do, chat? Do we encourage the young to get involved in politics and civics and go help out with the community, or do we allow them to get sucked up in TikTok? I don't know.
Keep your face in your phone all day.
Because we only got so much time left. 10, 15 years. Would they say, oh, this is going to break up. This will come into what we're going to play here in a little bit. Yeah. So here's what Glenn Beck had made an interesting point about what Trump had said.
Yesterday, he tweeted on Truth Social, "The communists are finally making their move. I've been waiting and preparing for this for a long time." What the hell does that mean? That makes me happy. I've been waiting and preparing for this for a long time. It's easy to be communist. All you have to do is say, I'll give you everything. But that means you're taking it away from others who have earned it. Over thousands of years, this ideology has not worked once. The game is on. Listen to this. The game is on. Enjoy watching. President Donald J. Trump. What the hell does enjoy? Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to watch. But what does that mean? What does he have up his sleeve?
I was thinking the same thing.
Boom, boom, boom. Next week. Yeah, dude, he's been waiting and planning for a very long time. I wonder what that means, dude.
Here, we'll throw another comment out before we do some educational stuff. Go ahead, say it again.
I've been waiting and preparing for this for a long time. That's interesting.
Exactly. Here, I'll throw this out.
If this is where the Democratic Party is going, where this democratic socialist, this obsession with Israel, with the Jew hating, they don't believe in capitalism, no prisons. If this is where they're going, my vote is in play.
Okay.
And I like to hear that. It actually always has been. Every year, I don't make my decision by who has an R or a D. I actually always came to the conclusion that the Democrat was probably better.
Sure.
And voted for them.
Okay.
And Trump can't run again, and he'd be a little too exciting for me anyway. So it's either going to be you or Rubio.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting because you could see what the Democratic Party of 15, 20 years ago have never moved. They're still in the same spot. It's the party around them that is moving, and they're starting to see the writing on the wall. And Bill Maher has been speaking out about this for the last 3 or 4 years.
Mr. Kid Love Productions himself. He ain't getting no passes on this stuff, no matter how much you change your opinion. But it is a good point, for sure. But I never will forget this. And, Kid Love Productions. Who the hell makes their production companies? Kid Love Productions. I would never even think of that, Hulk.
So this one right here is we're going to get back into, would you like to read this up here at the top? Because I'm going to reintroduce this to you guys again.
The Strauss-Howe generational theory describes a recurrent cycle of same-aged groups with specific behavior patterns that change every 20 years. This is a visual representation of the concepts in a 1997 book, The Fourth Turning. History repeats itself every 80, 90 years, blocks with 4 turnings.
Have you seen this?
No.
This is very educational. It is 9 minutes long, but it's very, very interesting. It tells about the ideology play that we see a lot on. Any questions? Anything you want to throw out before we play this?
Yes. What's the square root of 102478?
Male or female?
Transsexual.
All right, here we go.
And this is what the book said. History repeats itself in 80-year blocks called saeculum, but we'll just call them history blocks. Not exactly 80 years. This is history, not math, but roughly the span of a human lifetime, maybe 80 to 90 years. Within these 80-year history blocks, we have 4 turnings of around 20 years each. We usually call them generations. This book calls them turnings. Turnings are sort of like seasons, like spring, summer, fall, winter. Throughout our history, we've had these 80-year blocks, and the 80-year blocks have been remarkably similar to each other. We're in one now. The first turning, the first season, is a high, an upbeat era. The second turning is an awakening, a passionate era. The third turning is an unraveling, downcast era. And the fourth turning, well, sorry, but fourth turnings suck. The fourth turning is a crisis, an era of upheaval. We're in a fourth turning right now. So let's take a look at our saeculum, our history block, the history block that we're in the crisis of right now. Our high began after our World War II victory. By our, we mean America's. These are America's history blocks and turnings. During a high, the getting is good. We had the most even distribution of wealth during our high. You could work at a gas station and afford to buy a house. This high is the period that the MAGA hats refer to. We got Hank Williams and Elvis and Little Richard and the birth of rock and roll. We launched monkeys and men into space. This is when the Mustangs and Corvettes first came out. Our high ended with the assassination of John F. Kennedy on November 22nd, 1963. The high is not a high for everyone, of course. America still had a segregated South. Homosexuality was illegal and considered a mental disorder. The high is a period of conformity. The age of nonconformity and of social justice begins during the Awakening, our passionate era. During the Awakening, we had Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Movement, acid, Vietnam protests and Vietnam itself, the Women's Liberation Movement, Stonewall and the Gay Rights Movement, great movies, great music. This is when the first Macintosh computer came out. The Awakening is a time of increasing individualism. This second turning, this awakening, ended with the re-election of Ronald Reagan in 1984. Things get messy during the third turning. During the unraveling, we got the fall of Soviet communism and the beginning of the Russian gangster state. The greatest musicians of the time sang about violence and decay in their deteriorating cities. The LA riots, OJ, the bombing of Bosnia, and the Columbine high school shootings on the same day. September 11th, the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Our unraveling ended with the financial crisis of 2008. A fascinating fact about this book is that it was written during the last third turning, published in 1997. But the book predicts now, what's happening now in this fourth turning. And what's happening now is right on schedule. "80 years ago, in the last fourth turning, America had her Great Depression, then World War II. 80 years before that, the Civil War. 80 years before that, the Revolutionary War. Now it's our turn to save the country." So where do you fit into all this? What's your role? It depends when you were born. Each generation, each cohort, tends to embody a specific archetype. An archetype that will move the society towards the next high. Each generation's archetype is the characteristic that will define the generation in its prime, in midlife. The boomer archetype is the prophet. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs are boomers and prophets. Both predicted that one day everyone, not just big corporations and governments, would own a computer. Gates even predicted a crisis like COVID-19 5 years beforehand. The writers of this book are boomers and prophets. Gen X is the nomad generation. The quintessential Gen Xer, Elon Musk, builds things that move us from one place to another. Rockets, electric cars, hyperloops, nomadic devices. But the millennials, raised during the unraveling, will emerge as the hero generation during this crisis. These are the Parkland High students, the frontline hospital workers, and Malala Yousafzai. The book says millennials will be the World War II heroes of our history block. We don't know what Gen Z will do, but they will be an artist generation. From them will emerge the next Bill Withers, Toni Morrison, or Bob Dylan, all born during the last crisis, all from an artist generation. The history block before ours ended with World War II and began with the Civil War, 80 years prior. The history block before that ended with the Civil War and began with the end of the Revolutionary War, 80 years prior. Every 80 years or so, something big comes along and changes everything. And now we're at the end of our history block, right in the middle of our crisis. We are in the process of changing our world again. The authors of The Fourth Turning tell us that these crises are like forest fires. Unpleasant, but necessary, they clear the woods for new growth. As we work towards our next high, this crisis will tilt the playing field away from the old and towards the young, they tell us. But the victory is not guaranteed. We will, each of us, need to rise to the occasion during this crisis. We will need to develop and fortify our virtues as we pursue a greener pasture. Our Western society was built to foster the potential of each individual within it. The aggregate effort of individuals keeps it going. The spirited man wonders, what is his role? What verse must he contribute to help extinguish the crisis? This spirited man is told that his cohort, Gen X, is the repair generation, the one stuck with fixing the messes and cleaning up the debris left by others. Cleaning, fixing, repair. This particular spirited man, from the last pre-digital generation, the last of the analogs, just happens to have a particular knack for repair and for fixing. Perhaps his nomad generation is tasked with ferrying his society from one saculum, from one history block, to another. But where does he start? Well, the zip line at the community center playground has been broken for over a year. And this particular spirited man happens to have the tools to fix it.
Well, what do you think about that one, chat? As we explore some of these things out there. You haven't seen this? I thought I've played this for you before.
I don't think
I'm going to
so.
drop this for everybody. But it's something that I ran across, was taught by a long time ago, 4 or 5 years ago. We started looking at that, and I think it kind of fits us perfectly right where we're sitting at here when he starts talking about the awakening in these different groups right here. Where did it actually show? I think it was just after this. I'm looking for it. The Awakening right there. Gen X, 61 to 81 over there on that side. And then he had mentioned there at the end about the knack for repairing things. And I've always been that type of person, the fixer type of deal. Always been able to figure out new things. And, I've never done it before, and somebody else before me has done it before, so I guarantee I could figure that shit out. That's the way my ideology has always been, because you just have to be smarter than what you're working on. This is called The Fourth Turning. It's a book written in 97. I'm going to drop this link for everybody that is out there, but it's reminiscent of what we're looking for. And when they're talking about the millennials are the ones that are going to be the hero generation, not all of them. Only some of them out of that group would be qualified for that, as we get the Elon Musk type people out of those particular group. Because what I see out of a lot of those millennial group there, and even the newest generation coming out, sub 25 right now, is a lot of them are going back to the conservative type ideology, where we're bringing in a huge amount of conservatives because they've seen 10 years before that 5 to 10 years ago, where they were all being ridiculed at school, and they saw COVID-19 and they didn't go to their graduation and try to be less white. As that type of ideology started to propagate, those guys started to push away and reject this new type of thought process, and then come back to a conservative base. They want to spend more time outside doing off-roading and camping, and getting away from the digital life itself is what I'm seeing a lot of those guys starting to be, because they see the evil or the problems and the brainwashing that could happen pretty easily, and you get locked into the ideology. So I just find this really interesting.
Just clearing my
Space
throat
shit?
there. No, just clearing my throat on that one. New Case says it's BS to claim that any single generation is coming to be your hero. It will take people from all generations alive to fix this. True. However, I think it does make a lot of sense in that if you think about it, right? The boomers, right? And then the Awakening, right? Like me and Hulk are in the Gen X's and the Awakening class, right? So we're Awakening, and most of the viewers are in the previous class to that. So analytics tells me essentially most of our viewers are in the generation previous to us or in the same generation X as us. And then we come into unraveling the millennials, and then the Gen Zs are up till 2028. So that's crisis. So I wonder what that's going to mean going forward. Interesting. So that would be my son, obviously, and probably most people's sons, daughters.
Yeah. Did I get that link out to everybody out there? I think I did. I appreciate you guys.
Yes.
So I hope you learned a little bit there, but just kind of the history repeats itself type of ideology we should all be paying attention to.
Fediverse says Gen X doesn't want to repair things such as getting rid of men in women's sports. But yeah, it's a little different as far as, I think they're meaning like mechanical stuff, woodworking, that type of things, fixer-uppers. But different type of problem for sure.
Yeah.
What was this? This was I think it was a quote from a movie earlier, Hulk. He changed it up a little bit, Mystery Rob. He says, my role is to kick ass and chew bubble gum. I'm running out of bubblicious. I'm here to do two things.
Yeah, we're all out of bubble gum.
Here to kick ass, chew bubble gum. Almost out of bubble gum.
Yeah, so Cinderblock says it's been a long while since I had seen it. Yeah, it's been around for a while. So yeah, interesting stuff over here. Other stories as we continue on here. I thought this was interesting. I didn't get a chance to dig into what the story was. So you want to take a read on that?
Oh yes, I do. Miss Follow the Pen, Catherine Herridge. Legendary journalist Catherine Herridge is asking the Supreme Court under seal to block contempt sanctions after a D.C. circuit tried bullying her into revealing her sources. This is all rooted in a confidential source Herridge had back in 2017 when she reported on an FBI investigation into a Chinese-American scientist. Herridge is fighting for her source and journalism. Yeah.
So I don't remember what the story was in 27.
It might be the Chinese-American scientist that was trying to steal stuff out of the United States. Counterintelligence, yeah. Litigation. Chen sued the FBI alleging leaks. Heritage faces potential $800 daily fines. Interesting. Arrest. She, huh? Yamping Chen is a she. President CEO of the management UMT, Arlington. Credit online institution. Subject of a 6 to 7 year counterintelligence investigation starting roughly 2010 over statements on her immigration forms regarding 80s work in China, astronaut space program, including alleged PLA ties, which she disputed as civilian. No charges were filed after raids and extensive probing, but 2017 Fox News reports by Catherine Harrods using investigative details led to her Privacy Act lawsuit against federal agencies alleging unlawful leaks. No charges, I guess.
No charges, but they want to find out who leaked the information to her. So the Supreme Court's about to get involved. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, they'll probably, my guess is they'll probably back her, because she shouldn't have to give up the information.
I agree with that one there. Yeah. Might as well throw this one out. Actually, you know what? We got to read a little bit of this. Go ahead and read this.
You want me to do it in English or German?
English.
Das Wiegensteiger. Major breaking. German government has been grooming DSA leaders for over a decade and nobody noticed. Last night, Daria Liza Avila Chevalier, endorsed by NYC DSA, Democratic Socialist of America, beat a 5-term incumbent to win New York's 13th congressional district. Azra Nomani has been reporting on their ties to Cuba and China Singham Network, but what is not known is DSA's deep ties to the German government. The Rosa Luxemburg Stiftung is the political foundation of Die Link, the German parliamentary party formed in the merger of the Party of Democratic Socialism. Itself is the legal successor to East Germany's ruling Marxist Party, the SED. Oh, the real baddies. Under German law, every party in Bundestag gets a taxpayer-funded foundation. We good on that? You want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going because they just endorsed New York, those candidates.
Die Link shares approximately euros or 70 million euro annually. Most German party foundations sponsor conferences, publish research, and fund exchange programs. What RLS NYC did was put its own staff inside DSA's organizational leadership concurrently for over a decade. 2012, RLS opened up a New York office. Their own annual report states, with the help of funds from the BMZ and the Foreign Office, the Rosa Luxemburg Stiftung maintains a network of international relationships. This includes financing its foreign offices. Over the last 13 years, Berlin has sent millions to this office. Despite these ties, no FARA registration for the Rosa Luxemburg Stiftung was identified in the Department of Justice database. As always, patience as I pull together a thread.
So, they were happy that this happened in New York, and they were endorsing all the candidates that won under Mandami's socialist agenda, beating out the 5 incumbent. What's his name? I can't even remember his name. He's over in Congress. I'm glad he's gone, but we're going to have these crazy people in Congress right now, so it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, I know they were chanting that Jeffries is next, but I don't remember the guy or the person that won.
So your next congressional meeting with all these new people is going to end up like this. What else do we got for you here? We'll get into that too, because that was part of them. Yeah, we might as well go into this one too. So that was all about the Democrat Socialists of America, as again, they're changing the rules because they are losing out there. Election should be quite interesting. We'll see if the Supreme Court next week comes out with the birthright citizenship and that. So that's all coming out here very shortly. So yeah, next week should be interesting. Set shit on fire.
Fire. So Chevalier, that last woman, beat somebody I'd never heard of. 9-year incumbent, longtime politician Adriano Espaillat. But when you're an incumbent, you have pretty much every advantage to win. So taking out an incumbent is difficult, and especially
there's another guy that lost.
Yeah, especially a 5-time incumbent. Whew.
There's somebody else. I can't remember the guy's name. If you look for the ones that lost, you'd be like, oh, he lost? He's one of the ones that were always up on the news.
Let's see. The winners and losers emerge after socialist earthquake rocks New York City. Winner,
Rocks.
Miami. Loser, incumbent Democrats, Adriano Espaillat. Then, okay, next one. Another established Democrat in Congress, Rep. Dan Goldman. That's right, the Levi's heir, the one with the crazy eyes that was on the impeachment thing there because he donated before he was a congressman. I think isn't that true? He donated to the impeachment thing so he could take part of it, and then he became a congressman after that.
Something like that. It was crazy.
And he's the Levi's friggin' heir. So, why does he need to jump into Congress? My think is maybe he thought he could sway some things to keep Donald Trump from doing exactly what he's doing right now.
Pretty much. What else do we got? Might as well go back over the Save Old Games Act that they were trying to get passed over there in the EU that seems to fall flat on its face, but the one in California is moving along.
They're saying the quiet part out loud. You can't make the game keep working because we may be able to sell it back to you as a subscription later. Today, we're going to be going over something that was released by the ESA, otherwise known as the Entertainment Software Association, about the Stop Killing Games bill that was introduced in the state of California. I think that this bill is very reasonable as it's currently written, and I think it's fair to the gaming industry. They created this problem for themselves. There was an entire community of people that were happy to make sure that games continued working after support was ended. The problem is that was considered hacking because the games have digital rights management and digital locks. And as I talk about with Section 1201 of the DMCA, this makes breaking a digital lock illegal, even if it's just so that you can repair or get back access to what you bought and paid for. There's a process called the triennial exemption process where people will ask for exemptions to Section 1201 so that they don't get taken to court and potentially dragged to federal prison because they've made aftermarket ink cartridges. One of the exemptions that was requested was for preservation of video games that are no longer made or sold by the manufacturer so that they can continue to be used or played. Here's what they did in 2024. Opponents also disagreed over the market for older video games. They claimed that there remains a substantial market for classic games, and as in past proceedings, provided examples of a vibrant and growing market for authorized versions of classic games that could be jeopardized by the broad exemption proposed here, including the classic games offered by ESA's members, such as re-releases, sales, and making the games available using subscription services. Ultimately, opponents argued that the video game class fails to contain appropriate safeguards to prevent users from further distributing or making entertainment uses of video games. They believe that enabling widespread remote access to preserve games with minimal supervision would present a serious risk to an important market. They fought against the preservation of video games because people may be having fun. They can't do that unless they're paying us a subscription. They're saying that it's really hard to preserve old video games, and you're putting all this burden on poor little Ubisoft and poor little Electronic Arts, while simultaneously trying to make it a criminal offense that is punishable by 3 to 5 years in federal prison if the community does it. The community has been willing to do this work for decades, and you kept lobbying for that work to be criminalized. These are the fruits of your own coming back to bite you in the I'm going to put the text of the bill on the screen for you to read. It gives 3 options. The publisher can ship a standalone version, they can ship a patch so it runs without their servers, or a refund. They listed the scary option first. The bill lists that option never. It's not in the text of the bill. Show me where that's in the text of the bill. The companies that are making games that get killed are Electronic Arts, Sony, Ubisoft. They're not 10-person game shops. For the most part, the companies that are pulling this type of where they sell you a game and it's a sale, it's a purchase, it was sold to you and then it stops working. These are not 10-person game companies. They're using the little mom and pop video game developer as a shield to protect Sony and Ubisoft and Electronic Arts and all these other companies from doing this type of shit. You need to physically show up. You need to email them, not just once. You need to not call them just once or twice, but over and over again to let them know that the ESA is full of shit and that you're not having it anymore. Make sure that we win, not the people that think it should be a crime to make old video games work, because if you make old video games work, then, well, we may not be able to sell it back to you as a subscription. I hope you learned something. See you in the next video.
This goes back to that same process as, can I back up my movies, my DVDs? Could I buy a physical copy of that DVD? I wouldn't have bought a physical DVD if they told me 25 years later that the licensing is going to expire and you wouldn't be able to play the disc anymore. I think a lot of us would have been pissed off there at that point here, but this seems to be the model of the direction that these live service games, that once they're dead, the game is over. stick a fork in it, it is totally done. EU was really pushing forward this, and it seems like the software manufacturers for games did their lobby, and with the lotions and lather over there and got the EU to drop it. But over here in California, they're going to see if they can still hold this together here. Examples of some of these problems they're running into is that Sony Entertainment, who has the PlayStation 5 out there, is losing access to one of its licensing agreements for movies. It'll affect about 600 titles. So if you bought this particular title like Terminator 2 10 years ago, they just informed you that if you bought any group of any of those that are associated with this software alliance of about 600 movies and TV shows, that you will receive no refund and you will no longer be able to play it. And we are removing it from your console and you will no longer have access to it, period. This also goes on top of it that GTA 6 just came out and says there will be no physical copy of GTA 6 before, during, or after the game is being made. There will never be a physical copy that you will go buy. The box you're going to buy is going to have a code in it. You take the code out, insert code, you now own that game.
Even the physicals are digital. That is so crazy, dude. And it's like, why buy the disc version for $50-$60 more? Oh, well, you could play Blu-rays. But most of those nowadays, too, dude. I mean, the same thing, right? You can go on Amazon Prime or any of these other places, and you can buy a 4K or Blu-ray version of, or rent a Blu-ray version of whatever. So as long as your device can play it, then you don't need the ability to actually put a disc in. So therefore, you could get the digital version only if you needed to.
Going back to buying movies. What about you guys? Checking in with Chad. You guys still alive out there? Just making sure, poking you guys with a stick.
And three.
So there's my video game stuff. If you guys all wanted to get into that. What else do we got? You ready for more?
Now let's wrap it. Let's wrap. I gotta go.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Okay, we continue. Google is testing a new reCAPTCHA that asks you to wave your hand at your camera. The reason: AI can now solve every traditional CAPTCHA. Traffic lights, crosswalks, fire hydrants, distorted text, all defeated. Bots pass them faster than humans. So Google's solution is biometrics. Your hand on camera. 21 joint coordinates extracted, analyzed, verified. Google says videos deleted after verification. Bullshit. Not linked to your identity. Bullshit. Audio never recorded. Double bullshit. Now, here's the timeline of what Google has said about the data before. CAPTCHA was originally designed to help digitize old books and street signs. Harmless, useful. Then Google used it to label training data for Street View and Google Maps. You were solving puzzles. You were also labeling Google's data sets for free. And the new system already bypassed. A user demonstrated it using a virtual camera feeding AI-generated hand animations. The verification designed to prove you're human was defeated by an AI pretending to have a hand. So to recap, the old CAPTCHA farmed your attention for training data. The new CAPTCHA wants your camera and your hand geometry. It's already broken. And the bot traffic is trying to stop just crossed 55% of all internet traffic. Google needs you to wave at your camera to prove you're human. The AI watching you wave already knows you are. It just needed the footage. Dude, it's getting, and it's like, it's exactly that person's write-up is exactly on point. It's like, okay, before they told us it was for this, but they were using it for this. And we learned the same thing about Pokemon. Remember Pokemon Live or whatever that game is called, where other people walk around in public? Well, they were using those cameras as well for another little AI model of the world. So yeah, they always have these little devious, ulterior motives going on.
Yep. So yeah, the game industry I think it's Transcend, I think is the name. But anyways, the owner of the game itself would put these Pokemon locations in restricted or less traveled areas to get people to go over there with their camera so they go capture these particular Pokemon, Pokeballs, whatever they're doing over there, while giving them real-time 3D data right off of their camera. And then they turned around and is now selling it for billions of dollars, just like Google does. Smart shit. What was else in there? Was there anything else? Anthropic also came out with their announcement for Mythos that they've agreed to the restrictions on said model, that it shouldn't break out of the box, and we're ready for prime time use for the rest of the world, and it has been released. So there's most advanced cybersecurity Mythos has been neutered down and released. Mm-hmm. It's only a matter of time.
Nope, somebody's going to screw with it.
Yeah. I might as well throw this out here because NVIDIA's already changing the game again.
NVIDIA built a supercomputer in a rack. This is a supercomputer in a single rack. Now imagine walking into a research lab and someone says, the supercomputer is over there, and they point to one rack. That is what NVIDIA is announcing with its new Vera Rubin platform. NVIDIA says that its Vera Rubin can deliver supercomputing performance that's comparable to machines on the top 500 list of the world's most powerful supercomputers, but packed into a much denser rack scale system. Now, this is not being built so someone can ask a chatbot to write better emails. This is for the ugly, difficult, expensive problems such as climate modeling, computational fluid dynamics, quantum chemistry, energy exploration, material science, drug discovery, and other use cases. This is the kind of work where a normal computer is not even in the conversation. And here's why Vera Rubin is interesting. NVIDIA says that its system can deliver more than 7 exaflops of AI performance for science, plus 5 petaflops of native FP64 performance. And that second number is important. FP64 is double precision math. And in science, precision is not optional. If you are simulating the climate or modeling molecules, designing engines, or working on fusion energy, small errors can lead to less useful or misleading results. So NVIDIA's system is not just about more AI chips. It's trying to combine 3 things into one system: high precision simulation, AI, and data analysis. Instead of researchers running a simulation in one place, moving the data to somewhere else, and then using AI afterward, NVIDIA wants more of that workflow to happen on one platform. And that opens the door to something else: agentic AI for science. Not an AI agent that books your calendar. This is an AI system that could help researchers run simulations, analyze results, compare models, and guide what to test next. That is where this gets much more serious, and major labs are already adopting it. This supercomputing system is building a system called Blue Lion with Vera Rubin, and NVIDIA says it will deliver around 30 times the computing power of its current system. And NVIDIA says manufacturers including Dell, Gigabyte, HPE, and Supermicro are bringing NVIDIA systems to market with up to 144 GPUs per rack. So this is not just another GPU announcement. This is NVIDIA trying to put serious supercomputing into systems that research institutions, national labs, and enterprises can.
Yeah, so changing games again, guys. They're already done another iteration into their supercomputer systems, and now are working into the small form factor stuff. And we'll probably see this on side of your house as they're doing AI modeling and all that. They've been talking about tapping into your own power out there.
Yeah, they've been offering certain people to put power modules outside of their houses and pay them, X amount of dollars per month or whatever. That's getting bananas, dude. Like, so much power. And at the very beginning, I thought he said that they put a supercomputer in Iraq. He goes, they put a supercomputer in Iraq. I'm like, why the hell would they put a supercomputer in Iraq? Never know. But yeah, dude, some of this stuff, and I still, my little pea brain, still can't understand this stuff, Hulk, right? So what it says is like, a supercomputer will do some of these calculations that would take tens of thousands of years for these other computers to do. Like, what are we talking about, though? Like what kind of computations are they talking about that take tens of thousands of years that they can now do in a short period of time? This is like why I don't understand certain aspects of it,
It's just basically a really, really, really smart brain that knows all. I was messing around with some of the large language models playing with them here on my computer just to see if I can run it locally, which you can. It's kind of like using Grok, but I think Grok is still better because you could do could look at images at the same time. So there's limitations to it itself. But,
Grok is better.
It's basically almost predicting the future here at this point, especially with the whole quantum computing thing that they've been talking about, how it can work in parallel realities and help accelerate its computational calculations a lot faster, and then be able to not guess, but be able to, what I'd say, almost repair the answer before it comes up with it in the end. Because so if it's pushing towards the answer and it knows the answer is going to be wrong, it's able to change the computational of it to come out with the correct answer, and also upgrade itself to be more efficient, the actual computer itself, all at the same time without the researchers actually knowing what it's exactly doing. But it does come out and tell it came out with the correct answer out there. So it's a little bit of a black box because they're saying it's like it's almost predicting its own future before it comes up with the answer, just to see if it's right. Quantum computing. Yeah, it's weird. What else we're getting into? How about this? You want to read that for everybody?
Ooh, you hear this? I'm talking to my son on my camera downstairs. Okay, buddy.
Oh, I want to say.
Okay, say thanks. I'm going to show you something too. Or I'm going to read something to you.
I want to say, Cyrus the Great with the Dollar Rumble rant says, if you play Pokemon Go like me, there's a Patriot-built workaround called PG Sharp. Get it from their site. You can travel without traveling. Just watch your cooldown times. I've had it for 5 years. It replaces the Pokemon Go. So you delete the app, download PG Sharp, sign in, some games, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so cool. Yeah. Yeah, so it cheats the GPS, I guess. Says you're moving.
I'm actually literally texting my son this right now because him and his friend, the Russian kid I was telling you about, and his friend's father, they go around and get the Pokemon stuff.
What were you going to point out?
All right, I'm going to read this to you because I didn't understand. It says, good questions, and the wording you hear often can be misleading. When scientists say this calculations have taken 50,000 years or would have taken 50,000 years on an older computer, they don't mean someone actually ran it for 50,000 years. They're making an estimate based on the known speed of an older machine. Imagine a simple example. Suppose a modern supercomputer performs 1 quintillion calculations per second. An older computer from the 80s might perform 100 million calculations per second. That's a speed difference of modern 1 with a bunch of zeros, old 100 million. A modern machine is about 10 billion times faster. Now imagine the job requires 3 times 10 to the 25th calculations. The modern computer finishes in about 30 million seconds, equals roughly 347 days. The older computer would take 9.5 billion years. What the frig?
Yeah.
So nobody had to wait billions of years. They simply divide the number of operations by the speed of each computer. And I get that, dude, right? But like, what are they trying to solve? That's I guess what I'm trying to get down to the bottom of. Like, what are they trying to crack here? Like, what are these computations that they want to, get done?
Well, they're just trying to educate the computer to make it smarter to be able to continue with these high-tech, these high math problems that they're doing, whether space or any of the things that they were listing out before. Because right now it's taking too long to do those sort of things. And if they're trying to get to a general AI type of thing or a God AI, where it all knows and sees all type of thing, make up TV shows right off the bat, those types of things. I mean, we're talking holodeck shit and simulations on Star Trek. I mean, that's eventually the point that this is all going to and what they're trying to get there.
AI. Yeah. So the AI is telling me that their goal is AI and then weather forecasting, improve hurricane forecast, predict tornado conditions, model climate change, drug discovery.
Come up with new cancer drugs. What if it figured out in the next 2 years it could cure cancer of some sort and it came out with the the result for that, and you just take a shot in your arm. Those types of things.
I thought we did that back in 21 with fenbendazole, ivermectin,
Not to the public though.
Oh, that's
general
right,
public type of stuff. That's
right.
why Elon Musk keeps coming back that you don't need to save money for retirement and shit, because at that point, if AI is so smart and it could crack any bank and stock market and play the games and be at the trading point and make trillions of dollars just on the stock market in a few days, I mean, the money would matter there at that point. You're keeping score. You're keeping score at that point.
Hulk, let me thank a few people here. I let a few of them rack up. Over on Rumbles, we had Real Chris Cockrell earlier dropped a subscription or gifted a subscription out to the channel, so appreciate that.
Say that
Chris.
name again?
Real Chris Cockrell. Cockrell. And then Mr. MacGyver, thank you, sir, dropped a $2 super chat. Every time I say that, I like roll my eyes. I look up at the top of my eyelids and I go, wait, not Rumble Rant, super chat. Okay, super chat. Because it's been so damn long. But thank you, MacGyver, for that, who says, good afternoon, Patriots. And then there's a $9 looking up super chat from YouTube, ARW-D4H, a $9 super chat, but no message on there. But thank you for those guys. Yeah, dude, stuff is getting wild with the technology. It's like, can't we just have it so we can all just like sit by a pool every day and have everything taken care of for us? Is that too much to ask? I want to go to the beach. I just want to go to the... Actually, I don't even want to go to the beach. I want to go to like a pool.
I got a pool, but I went to the beach last week.
What would you rather hang out with? All right, and this is for you, and then the folks in the chat. If you had you're going to go on vacation for a week, and you're going to go get a beach house for a week. You're going to go get a lake house for a week. Or what was the other one you just said there? A beach house, a lake house, pool? A lake house, or a place with a pool where you lounge by the pool all week. What is your choice? How about you, Hulk?
I would probably take the lake thing because it'd be other boating activities. So that's interesting because I could watch your whole system because like you stopped talking, I went right to the internet stuff and started looking at them all. Yeah, he went down at 11:46. He is currently still down. I'm oh look, he's back up again. I see it pop up again.
So note to self, don't have the AC, and this is why I didn't want to try it because I have one of those roller LG pretty strong ACs up here. The one that just goes in the window and you have the thing on the
breaker
floor.
Is what you're saying?
Exactly is what happened. Yeah, it tripped the breaker, which it hasn't happened in like 5-6 years.
Question for you. Do you have a bath? How close is the bathroom to your bedroom door? Because that would be on a separate circuit.
The bathroom? Well, I have a...
Yes.
I got my bathroom is the next door over, and then I have I also have a outlet outside the bathroom in between my room and the bathroom.
Normally, your bathroom outlets are the upgraded ones because people run blow dryers and all those sort of things inside them. So my suggestion would be, plug it into there, and then you run the bedroom with the rest of the stuff, and then you plug the air conditioner into the bathroom outlet because it's going to be a separate feed into the house. Tip of the day.
Or maybe I should just put a GFI in this outlet over here too.
Oh, look at that. Motor On says, I like my Ubiquiti Dream Machine and their outdoor antennas. Yeah, they do have some pretty nice stuff in there. I'm currently running their, the hell is it? The one with the hell is it?
Let me make sure.
I forget the name.
I want to make sure everybody on Rumble can hear me here quick.
I got a UCG fiber running it because it's the only one that's 10 gig that's got fiber to it, but I'm not using the fiber. But it's got 10 gig into it because I'm on Fios. So they got a 2.5 gigabyte that I'm paying $40 a month. And that's symmetrical, folks, for the people to pay attention. That's 2.5 gig up and down. So that's really fast. Mr. Spaceshot's got a gig down. So he's got 1,000 down and 40 up. And I got 2,500 up and 2,500 down if you wanted to put it into those particular things. And I'm running just a USW Flex here to plug in multiple machines, and I've got a U6 mesh and a U7 Pro XG. That was the new one, the upgrade. So I sent him a U7 Pro and a Cloud Ultra. So that's what he's running right now.
So really weird, bro. I got nothing on my Rumble, even though it's showing the screen, and I think it's even showing the Maybe even showing the cursor. I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pop out of here and we'll come back in 1 second. Here we go. Coming back in. You guys can't hear me over here.
Yeah, I don't know what he was saying he was going to go do.
Right here and
But
back.
that's what we're running.
Because they can't hear me on my Rumble channel now. He says African. Jason Holmes says Space got that African Indian internet.
Are you live? Let's check, see if you're live over here.
It says it's trying to rewind, so people are saying like when they go on the thing.
I don't hear anything coming out of your.
Hold on, let me see here. Might be back on now. Mute. It's actually showing the screen and everything, but it's not letting me hear the sound.
It's showing up on your OBS.
Yeah, everything's showing up on OBS. Even Rumble Studio is showing I'm connected, which is weird. They're both showing connected. Rumble and YouTube saying both connected with the link. That might be the issue because it's got a link thing next to it.
It would say that again.
They got like a link thing next to them, so I don't know if it's like a broken thing. I've never seen this before.
In Studio.
Yeah.
The only thing I would try is to go look over at your OBS really quick and make sure you're not dropping frames.
No, not dropping anything. Screen 2 here.
So
I'll show you quick.
Yeah, so I would just stop streaming, hit the stop stream button, wait for a second, kick it back on and see if it comes back in.
See right here? My screen quick.
Wait, looking. Here, looking. It shows connected now.
Let's see. So are we showing it on now here? Let me see. Yeah, okay, we're back on. Are we sound-wise, though? I don't think they're not getting any sound. That's weird. Rumble Piper. Yeah, let me see. I'll grab your link and tell people to go.
$2 or $1 Rumble rant from G Fontes 119, the Incredible Hulkanator. Oop, that's not what I was going for. Looking for this button.
Oh,
I heard my voice.
This is what we do. You ready? Ding. Get ready to do a Rumble Studio.
Do you hear sound on your side? Are you good?
No, there's no. Let me redo it. Nobody's hearing anything on my side. No, my sound. Lieutenant Dan 8 says, "Why does the screen got to be black? It's racist." All right, I'm rating you as we speak.
What, are you giving up?
Oh yeah, I mean,
you didn't try to. Oh, I was hoping you were going to turn off your stream in OBS and kick it back on again. Give me a quick 30 seconds while the people cycle over. I'm going to go hit the little bathroom really quick.
All right, I'll turn mine off too. I'll see what happens here. See what we can do. If I turn it off and turn it back on, it says we're back in. The hell? What in the hell is going on here? Let's see what we got. We're gonna